Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of
Mom and Son Podcast. This is Rose Fres Fausto, the mom, also known as FQ Mom.
And this is Anton Fausto, the son. Our topic today is the very famous,
mama, very
the
FQ
very
mom.
FQ mom, most talked about topic, I guess, in your career would be raising kids with high FQ.
Yep.
For those who still don't really know about this
FQ.
topic, you can check. Not even the FQ book. You can go back in time to Mama's first book, Raising Pinoy Boys, because it's very discussed. Yung chapter 7. I would hear this
Yes.
in Mama's talks all the time. Na kasi very sikat talaga, and people really go to her about yung chapter 7 of that book, which is
Money matters.
Money Matters. So that's if back in high school kasi Nogi Metangher. I'm not sure kasi if this chapter 7 also.
Oh, really?
The Ligawan sa Azotea. Basta it was my teacher, Mr. Apple's favorite chapter na. It was that one chapter in the book na kilig talaga. So, in Raising Pinoy Boys, it would be, this is your, is it Ligawan or Suyuan?
Oh,
sa
baka
Azotea.
Suyuan.
The balcony scene. That is your...
So this is my balcony scene.
That is your
Anton?
balcony scene. The
Yeah.
Money
so
Matters.
what is FQ ba, no?
Yeah.
FQ kasi is the ability to make the right decisions and actions in managing one's personal finances.
It's having a healthy relationship with money. It's not having a lot of money.
Yes, because it's possible that even if you have a lot of money, but if you have a terrible relationship with money, masyado kang takot. Parang feeling mo lagi kang nauubusan ng pera, or sa tingin mo yung pera-perahan lang. I still consider that a low FQ. And for somebody who is still in the accumulation stage, hindi pa ganun kadaming pera niya, but he is now, para bang his relationship with money is in check. Alam niya, no? And he knows where he wants to go, what his financial goals are, in relation with his
Core values.
Of course. So that can already be considered a high FQ.
Okay, so that's FQ. Your relationship with money, how you handle it, what happens when you earn it, all those stuff about money. And today we're going to discuss raising kids with high FQ. So run us through the story of, from the beginning, how you instilled this in us. It wasn't like a sit-down lecture.
Yes.
Na parang, okay, it's time to
Siyempre,
talk
no?
about
That's not gonna
money.
work. Oo.
Yeah. Did it start with was there like a blueprint you and Papa made na, okay, with our kids, this is what we're gonna teach, these are the lessons, and these are the steps? May ganun ba?
There's no blueprint, but in fact, those who listen and read my articles, they can already create a blueprint. So, what happened was that I was raised by a frugal mom and dad because they're both Ilocano and they only had enough. So, para bang it was inherent in them to raise us to be frugal and also to have a good sense of the self, na you didn't really have to be rich in order to feel good about yourself. And when I had that talk, I listened to a talk by a Jesuit priest in Xavier School. You know what he said? He said that a lot of parents daw kasi think of the things that they didn't have when they were growing up.
Yeah.
And then that's what they make sure that their children
Kids
will have. Like, bawa, di sila binili ng Voltes 5 toy. Isiguraduhin nila ngayon, ibibila nila yon. But then, the priest said, but parents, why don't you look at the things that you had that worked well for you? Kasi you don't really know the effect of that Voltes 5.
It could have actually been a good thing that
Yes.
that person didn't have that Voltes 5 growing up. It could have affected like his values, something like
Delaying
that.
gratification.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
always it had a reason.
Siguro, that's what one of the seeds, well, aside from me being raised by frugal parents. No? So I thought, no. So what were the things that happened in my childhood that really, I think, worked well for me? And one of the things that I thought of was yung pagiging masinop ko sa pera. I was frugal. I was raised a frugal child. Lola kasi would give us allowance on a weekly basis na, even as early as kinder. That was not
That's the important
yet.
thing with the structure, no? Kasi I have classmates also na they get money allowance every time they just ask.
Oo.
It becomes what's that saying? Isang tuka, isang
Kayod.
isang kayod, isang tuka.
Oo. So kami, and this was during the time back in the 70s, it wasn't really done regular. I mean, it was not usually done to children on a daily basis na mga baon-baon noon. So, and then I received an alcansya from my Auntie Betty na shaped like a transistor radio. Doon ko sinisave yung mga yung allowance ko. And it really made me feel great about myself as compared to a cousin na ewan ko ba kung yung baon niya ng 1 week din yun? Kasi parang dinadala niya lahat, inuubos niya. So parang bang, I felt so good about it. And then it went on, yung Bangko Filipino, Sanrio. So yun yung naging naisip ko na, oh, maybe I should do this to my kids also.
I believe the most valuable thing about that isn't that you started saving money. Isn't the money that you saved when you were 5 years old, 6 years old. It's the habit. I think that's the priceless practice that you already are used to saving whatever money you have.
Yeah.
That let's say you saved 1,000 pesos while you're in grade school. That 1,000 pesos, even if you invested it back then, it's going to be it's going to be a big amount now, 50 years after, something like that. It's that value, that habit of saving money regularly na nung syempre lumaki na yung kita, hindi na allowance na lang yung pera mo. It's not a foreign thing na, I have to save some of this money din pala.
Oo. And then nagkataon, Papa was also a frugal boy. He also brought baon to work.
Yeah.
We were both baon gang members. And, kasi that type na you're cool even if you bring your lunchbox to, hindi na lang school, to the office.
May ganun din sa grade school na parang yung mas cool kids, yung pupunta sa
cafeteria.
Yung may meal card pa.
So now, di ba, you guys, even while you're working, you still want your baon. Well, and there's also a positive side effect of that. It's healthier pa rin.
It's healthier. Better for the environment. May ganun din siya. But that's not
what our topic is.
Yeah.
So that's the beginning. And I thought na really, it's very important because nobody can escape the reality of money. Money is something like oxygen, di ba?
Yeah.
Come to think of it, whatever your profession is, you really need to be good in handling your money.
It's a good thing when people say they don't do it for the money, but then if you do any career and there's no money,
you're not gonna last.
It's not gonna survive.
At yan na yung kinatatakutan ng parents, di ba?
Yeah.
You don't want to go back knocking on your parents' door
that's
asking for
connecting to
money.
Our episode last week. That's why nga, it's possible na okay lang na I'm doing this whole freelance thing because I was raised to have high FQ.
Yes. And I'm confident, Papa and I are confident na hindi ka gugutumin because you will do something already on your own, di ba? Ayaw mo naman na maubos yung emergency fund mo, yung lahat ng laman ng balance sheet mo. You don't wait for that to happen. Whereas a kid who didn't have a clue and then you just throw him into the work field na walang siguradong sweldo, ay hindi talaga po pwede yun.
That connects na to, I forgot, was it your mother or papa's that said that it's not how much you earn but how much you save?
That's Lola Selling.
That's her quote.
Yeah. That was Lola Selling's paulit-ulit daw na reminder, Papa said. And what he did was he added to it. It's not how much you earn, but how much you save and invest. Si Lola Pepay naman used to tell us, live within your means, but enjoy the fruits of your labor.
That one was my favorite. Because sometimes I feel like puro fruits na lang of my labor yung nagagawa. It's challenging kasi now millennials would say treat yourself. That's the
I deserve. That's the hashtag now.
Yeah. I could really feel that it's not how much you earn but how much you save. As back in grade school when you end up seeing then how much your
baon.
Yeah, baon is. Let's say, example, if my allowance would be 100 pesos for the week.
Yeah.
And then I'd see someone come in school na 100 pesos na. Kasi that's his allowance for the day.
For the day, exactly.
But he's used to spending 100 pesos or sometimes even more. Mamutang siya.
Yes.
At the end of the week, let's say I saved 10 pesos, 15 pesos. Well. But I saved 15 pesos at the end of the week, and he and classmate A spent everything kasi doon na siya sanay eh. He'll have 0 pesos at the end of the week.
Yeah, so
ako
who's richer? Parang ganun.
even if he makes, 5 times more money. 5 times more money than I do. Ako man yung panalo, quote-unquote, sa end.
And if you may know now, it was really deliberate for Papa and me to make your allowance on the low side. Because it was like that eh. Your
And
school...
before people might think naman, kawawa. We had baon naman.
Oh,
As in,
you have baon.
unlimited naman yun. If I wanted to add to my baon at home, or if we wanted to add to the groceries, pwede naman.
So that was also our training ground for you.
Yeah.
To become millionaires. I always say that allowance given on a regular basis is a great training ground for kids to become millionaires. And then you start them low so that they are used to making do with a small amount muna.
Yeah.
And then as it gets bigger, when you will be earning your own, yun na yun. And that is the first basic law of money, which is...
Pay yourself first.
Yeah. So you have to teach your children how to implement this first basic law of money. They say nga it's the golden rule of personal finance. To pay yourself first. Unahin nyo na. So remember your tickler, Anton? Where you wrote
where I wrote all my expenses
the savings, expenses. So inuuna na nila kaagad yung savings. And we required a minimum of 20%. So that's really part of adulting, which was it's really an essential part of adulting. You cannot be called an adult if you don't know how to manage your own money, di ba?
It's very... I think that's one of the biggest things. It is the biggest thing of the biggest, how do I say this?
Challenge?
It's the biggest challenge, and it's the indicator that you are an adult na, because ikaw na mismo yung nagmamanage ng sarili mong money. And
you are a responsible adult
and you
now.
kind of have 100% freedom of what to do with the money you get. It's a blessing, but at the same time, it's also huge.
It could be a curse if you don't.
With great
prepare
power
well.
comes great responsibility nga naman. Okay, let's go to the concrete things that you and Papa did when...
So that one, you
raised
remember
us.
Every Sunday night? You remember that?
Sunday night is payday.
So that would be allowance day. You would give your allowance. Tapos you'd go to your treasure box. Yeah, tell them about it.
So we have this treasure box, and then we put there na how much we're gonna save for the week.
Yeah.
So the rest of our allowance, we can kind of spend it freely, and then when it
runs out,
when the savings, what do you save? I save 20 pesos or more every week, and then when it reaches a bigger amount, 500 or 1,000 pesos, we deposit it then
in the bank
to
account.
our quote unquote small account. Which is the ATM.
Just to make it simpler for the boys noon, we called it the small account. That is their ATM, and then
the big account.
When the amount in their small account gets bigger, so we also taught them na if you just keep your money in your small account, which is their ATM account,
you're gonna lose money.
Yeah, you're gonna lose money to inflation. So you have to invest. And now there are two kinds. There's the fixed and the long term. Alam mo kasi, Anton, when you were young, uso pa yung double your money in 5 years. So a lot of your money was also invested there. That's
Did it double?
Of course, and fixed yun eh. So more or less that's 15% per annum return. Wala na.
Are those still alive today?
Wala na eh. Hindi na.
What are those? I never heard. I don't remember.
Because sobrang bata pa. Wala. These are just the typical mga promissory notes ng different companies. But so they're now packaged as double your money investments in banks. And then you also had the stocks.
The stocks, yeah.
So that one, we introduced them early on to stocks and with the companies that are easy to understand.
It's very important that I think this would be one of the most important things when you want to raise your kids with high FU, that you have to make it understandable.
Correct.
You have to make it clear, and it can't be boring.
Yes. It can't be boring, it can't be intimidating.
It has to make sense. When it comes to stocks, it was understandable for us because the companies that they bought stocks for us with our allowance, with the cash gifts and everything from birth pa lang, would be companies that we understand and see every day. Example, there's Jollibee, which
Yeah,
every
every
Filipino,
Filipino.
every Juan knows. Because you see it, you eat it, and we're pretty sure it's gonna, be alive for the next,
Yeah.
until the next generations.
Siyempre, inaral-aral na rin namin ni Papa yung balance sheet. No?
Yeah, yeah. There's also Meralco, which is in the electricity nga, and then who else would be the one? It's something that you can't live without. It's something that you see every day, and it's something that you can understand.
Oo. So, syempre, where do you go for shopping? There's SM, di ba?
Yeah. So those type of companies,
At
and it's
Ayala.
something that kids would understand because kids go to the mall. Kids eat Jollibee. It has to be something that they can really,
Tangible, no?
they can see and they can understand because a kid, even until now, it's not just for kids. You can promise them that, if you put your money here, it's the wise decision. Ganyan. But syempre, what would I prefer? I prefer to just, right? It's more fun, quote unquote, to spend my money now. Like, that's how I'm gonna get the gratification.
Oo. So, you know where the money goes to, no? So, kung hindi mo naintindihan the investment, it's not a good option for you, di ba?
Because you invest your money naman not solely for the future. You also invest it now na na parang may konting safety net ka. And there's also a pleasure in seeing your money grow. That's why Mama and Papa also taught us and required us to have our quarterly balance sheets.
Yeah.
It's something, it was an easy way to make people go, wow, balance sheet.
Yeah,
Ganyan.
para akala na sobra ka naman.
Yeah.
Na?
Yeah, but it was really basic. I mean,
Listing
back
lang
then,
yun
I didn't, you don't have to understand the complicated stuff there. Basta
Of debit and credit.
I had the challenge of that in accounting pa nga. I was college na, doing my balance sheet for, more than 15 years na by that time. Now, when it comes to making balance sheet, it's really just a snapshot of what your money is like. At that certain
and if
time.
you're gonna use the millennial term, it's a selfie. It's a selfie of your net worth, di ba? So on the left side, you have your assets, which are your resources. And on the right-hand side, you have your liabilities and equity. These are the sources. Kumbaga, ito yung nasa left, yung mga assets mo, these are the things of value that you own. And then on the right-hand side, this is how you funded those assets. So in your case, syempre, hindi pa naman kayo nangungutang. Puro equity nyo yun.
But now, din naman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're still quote-unquote dependents naman. We still live in this house. We're still...
Yeah. Yes, but you wala ka ng allowance. That's the thing, no? So, it's very important because you know what happened to you when you started preparing your balance sheets? It became more tangible. The investments, di ba? Yung aguinaldo na nakuha mo.
Yeah.
It became more tangible where it was going. So now you can understand, there's not just one purpose for money pala. It's not just for buying stuff pala. It's also for growing. And it was also easier for you to see na instead of buying that latest gadget, kung binili mo ng Jollibee, lumaki na yung value in your balance sheet.
But again, it's a balance that it doesn't mean that Mama and Papa didn't buy us toys growing up. I feel like it was still a normal childhood with adequate toys and gadgets
fun.
and okay. The next very important thing that I wanna
Wait, can I just add one more thing to the balance sheet? It was your substitute gratification. So instead of just spending,
getting the gratification from spending it on something.
Yes. It was seeing your balance sheet grow.
My favorite thing was that I was earning money. My favorite thing about that was that I was earning money without doing anything.
And that was your lesson on passive income.
Yes.
Diba? Very tangible yung passive income na sa kanila na you would receive, diba?
Cash
sa mail.
dividends.
Tontuwa sila noon. Alam na nila itsura nung nung envelope na.
Yung favorite ko yung brown envelope.
Yung brown envelope, ibig sabihin may cash dividends yun.
Yeah.
Pag yung medyo white lang, ano lang to, stockholders notice.
Hindi ko binabasa yung stockholders notice.
Okay.
Okay, the very important thing also when it comes to, I feel this is really crucial is that you have to talk about it comfortably, casually, that it just becomes another just becomes another aspect of life. Na it's the same way how all the lessons, all the values you impart on your kids. Na let's say Papa and Mama, you tell us about the importance of being on time.
Honest.
In being honest, ganyan. It's the same way na it's not na, oh, sama iba naman to, handling money. No, it's just another,
It's one
another
of the
thing.
values, yes.
It's just one thing that you need when you're gonna handle life, and it's a challenge because it's usually taboo, especially in families na you don't really know. Wag don't talk about money. That's family. Ganun.
That's what we're trying to erase. Na
Yeah.
We would really want families to talk about money in a healthy way, in a loving, healthy way. And we're saying we want people to make saving and investing as regular and as automatic.
As brushing your teeth.
Oo. Yung tipong mahiya ka naman. Di ka pala nag-toothbrush.
Di ka
Ang
pala
baho ng
nag-save
hininga mo.
and invest. Ganun.
Yeah.
It's sadly, it's one of the, I think it's one of the biggest reasons there's conflict between spouses, between families,
that's
because
right.
of money. And you could just avoid, and it's not something naman na, like, you will have financial problems. I mean, and challenges.
Yes, even if you have
I'm
a high
pretty
IQ.
sure, knock on wood, that when we grow up, we're still gonna, my brothers and I, even long after Mama and Papa are gone, knock on wood again, that we're gonna deal with, financial challenges.
Yes.
No matter what form they're gonna come in. But it is very important that you already know na you can talk about it.
Yes.
Sanay ka na talking about it, na it's not, hindi na siya nakakahiya.
Oo.
Kasi example, these are my brothers, so these are people supposedly I trust the most. I tell them na, I have a money problem, or
Can you help me with this?
yeah, I made a bad move, I made a bad investment, ganyan. It's your family naman who's there to have your back. And what a waste would it be? What a waste would it be? What a waste if these are the ones na you have quarrels and fights with God because of money.
Exactly. And kasi alam mo yung kasabihan na, uy, pag pamilya, hindi nagbibilangan.
Yeah.
Yun. So that's where the confusion comes from. Ibig sabihin, if you're family, you help each other. Pero you have to make it clear. What is utang, di ba? What is bigay. Hindi yung, sasabihin, akala ko, binigay mo na yun sa akin.
Kaya ko,
Hindi. Kailangan ko yan ngayon. May matrikula na yung anak ko. So, all these confusions can be avoided only, if you only talk about money in a healthy way, in an open kind of engagement. Hindi yung mga, sasabihin mo rin naman sa iba. Halimbawa, brothers A and B, sila yung may issue. Hindi nila sasabihin sa isa't isa, tapos sasabihin sa ibang kapatid. Yan yung mga, wrong yun eh.
Yeah, just have to be clear with it.
Yeah. So it's really important that from the very start, you now practice talking about money among your children. Diba? And so we said a while ago, there's a tool, which is the balance sheet. There's another tool. Remember, I showed you before that Excel file that showed the power of compounding. So I showed them that if you only save this much from your allowance every single time and you invest it, you could actually grow your money. And when I showed it to you guys, parang wow, parang naano kayo nun eh. You were floored by it. And that again helps in making the lesson more tangible.
Yeah.
Diba?
It takes a lot of time then. It takes a lot of patience then. Kasi it's easy. It would be simpler if a parent just said, ako na bahala sa pera. Like, the kids, you
have a lot of friends with that style, di ba? Ako nang bahala.
Worry about school lang, or you don't have to, you're too young pa for that. There is no, one of my favorite quotations of the kasabihan ng financial is, the best time to start saving and investing is when you're very young. The second best time is now.
Now, yes.
You don't have to wait for, if this is a good time to invest in the market, or is it a good time now? If you're not doing it yet, the best time is you just do it na.
Oh, and Anton, that I have this available for free to those who are interested to also use these tools, which really worked well for you. I have a parang pro forma balance sheet and the power of compounding. The power
you just have to input the
power of compounding.
details.
Yes, the power of compounding. You can find it on fqmom.com. Just search for Power of Compounding or Magic of Compounding, I guess. And then you can download the Excel file for free. For the balance sheet naman, you can email to FQMOM, yung last,
FQMOMM.
at gmail.com and request for that pro forma balance sheet so that you can work around with it and show it to your children, use it for yourself, for your children. Tapos diba, you can make a game out of it. Na, if you reach, may mga milestones kang gagawin. If you reach your first, let's say, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, until maging millionaire na kayo, tawag natin doon ay
M-Day.
M-Day. So, you make fun out of it so that it will be more exciting, more understandable to the kids.
Yeah. I was very lucky then that we made it, it was just another part of life. The same way you talk to us about going to Mass every Sunday.
Yeah.
It's as important then as, you have to save money every week, every allowance. Yeah, something like that. And it really led to becoming our economic self-defense.
Yeah.
Again, the FQ are having a good relationship with money, being able to talk about it comfortably, being able to, not be scared na
Yes.
when I get this much money, what am I going to do with this? I'm not used to it. If you have high FQ, if you have that healthy relationship with money, you're goods na.
Yes.
In our lingo, goods ka na. You won't have to get too worried about di ako sanay na may kita na ako.
O kaya you always feel na kulang.
So yun nga, it's your economic self-defense that, again, I could go to any career path that I put my mind and effort and time to. Hindi naman any career path lang.
Dapat meron
You
ka
have to be
lang.
credible. You have to be and competent for it.
Yeah, you have
But
to be
then,
good at it.
since this is what I want to do, this freelance hosting, dance choreography, this is what I want to do. The high FQ is it's not a safety net, it's more of a self-defense.
Yes.
I can go to war with it.
Correct.
I have my sword
I like
and
that.
shield.
Yes. And that also gave us the confidence to allow you
Yeah.
to not to really interfere anymore, get in the way. So it's really our FQ. A high FQ is really the economic self-defense. So raising your children with high FQ is arming them with that economic self-defense.
Yeah. And the discussion doesn't stop there. If you have any questions,
Yes,
then,
yes, please.
FQ questions, investing questions, or okay,
course.
you can ask Mama. But if you ask me, Anton, what stock
Index.
is
Sabihin mo lang,
good to
go.
buy now, yeah, or who's doing good in the market? I don't look at the market. That's another thing. Sorry,
that's
last
another
point.
thing.
I grew up, and until now, I don't look at the market
Every single day.
Yeah, like I don't know who's doing bad or who's in some scandals.
But on a quarterly basis, you get to see how the companies
you see how
are
they're doing.
Yeah.
The important thing is you do it regularly.
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't need to know the nitty-gritty technical
Yes.
details. Because it's so uso na yung mga financial jargon. And now I don't even super understand what
Yeah.
it means.
And you're just saying that you don't really have to. And what we always say is now, you just invest in equity index fund.
Yeah.
And just know that you are invested in the top 30 corporations of the country. And since the country is expected to grow by over 6% in the next so many years, then you have to participate somehow. Hindi yung ikaw lang yung tigabili ng products nila. Dapat you also own them.
Yeah.
Diba?
And you take part in their profits as well.
Correct.
That's right. So if you have any questions, about this FQ topic on like how dealing with it with the family or
Your children.
or kahit baliktad na you have an FQ issue
Yes.
towards your parents naman.
Oh, yeah. We can discuss that in a separate.
Yes. You can always
very
email
interesting.
us at antonfausto@gmail.com.
So once again, this has been Rose Fausto, the mom.
And Anton Fausto the son. Tune in again next week for another episode of Mom and Son Podcast. Thanks, guys. Bye. Mom and Son Podcast airs every Tuesday at 7 a.m. or anytime at your convenience through Spotify, Buzzsprout, and Apple iTunes. Have your weekly dose of mother and son takes on family, finance, passions, and everything in between.